I was
I
like,
really didn't
brother,
even mean.
Texas tea right now, man, it's still fresh. The wound's still open.
Yeah, yeah, dude, that's my fault. I wasn't even thinking about that.
It's okay, man. It's all
But
right.
yeah. Speaking of, let's talk about that. Let's talk about your weekend, bro, because it seemed awesome. It seemed like a lot of fun.
Yeah, man.
Um, just well, first off, yeah, this is my buddy Shawl Pryor. We went to Macaulay, played football
Sure.
together. Stayed pretty close friends ever since. So,
Yep, the good
but
old
yeah,
days, man.
them boys. Are you watching the? We're getting off track. But are you watching the game
Y-
on Friday? It's coming on ESPN.
Yeah, I am definitely, man. I have the week off now that I'm not working like I was last weekend, so I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be really fun.
Heck
Yeah.
yeah, heck yeah. All right, yeah. Let's get into it. Yeah, tell me about your weekend, bro. Because like you said, it seemed
So
awesome.
yeah,
Um,
I'll kind of break it down like how I got to where I got to first, like to explain it for everybody else. So the communications and media schools or departments for each of the schools decided that they were going to select four students from each school to give them the chance to cover the game, get to go behind the scenes and everything. And I was one of the eight students chosen, so I got to go behind the set of SEC Nation, College Game Day, and it was really cool. We got to meet all the talent, man. It was crazy. Like I'm obviously aspiring to be like a sports media guy, so I got to meet like people who I've looked up to and like pick their brain and everything. So like I had great conversations with Reese Davis. I got a one-on-one with Kirk Herbstreit, and I definitely told him go blue. I made sure I told him that for you. I got,
what do you say to that?
it was
What do you say to
surprising.
that?
He remembered like play for play the entire game, like from our senior year when we played NBA. So like
Oh no
he
way.
remembered Macaulay. He knew about the game coming up on ESPN. I was surprised by like how much of that he actually retained in his head.
That's pretty sweet, dude. That's actually really cool.
Yeah,
That's
one of his
awesome.
sons plays for I guess Saint Xavier that just played Macaulay, so he has a younger kid there now.
And he just got his son got
Yep,
beat again.
just got
That's
waxed.
hilarious.
So yeah,
That
that was fun rubbing that in. Had great conversation with Paul Feinbaum. Uh, and Pat McAfee, I got to see him in passing. Tim Tebow, got to meet him in passing. But it was a cool weekend, man. Being behind the scenes, getting to like actually go up on the sets and talk to like people we usually only see through a TV screen. So yeah, it was really cool.
was it what oh, hold on, who was that? It was on you posted someone else on your Instagram. I forget.
Roman
Um
Harper.
that's what I was yeah, yeah, okay. He's a Bama boy too, ain't he?
Yep.
Right?
So ironically, Roman and I had connected before this. So he played with my cousin who played at Bama. They played together on the same team. So randomly, I
Oh,
think a couple days before the game, I got thrown in a text chain with Roman Harper, and me and him have been like texting back and forth like for the past couple of days, just back and forth. So that was pretty
oh,
cool. Yeah,
that's pretty sweet. That's awesome.
yeah,
So yeah, you got to sit backstage too during the whole college game day.
yep,
Sadly, they pulled your segment. I thought it was
right,
awesome.
right. So
I don't know if we're allowed to talk much about that, but
so I can't. So there's a chance it'll air this week, possibly. I highly doubt it, but I won't go into too much detail just in case. But
yeah.
for the four students from each school, like we came together, and then each of us decided to work on certain projects uh, to cover the game ourselves. My project was less about the actual game and more about like our experience. Like it's really cool. Eight students out of the 100,000 probably combined population get to do what we were doing. So I was like, let's cover it and make like a dramatic 30 for 30, kind of poking a little bit of fun at it, but doing it ourselves. And the full 30 for 30 should be finished in the next week or so. I can tell you that. But
Oh wait, so okay, so,
go ahead.
the thing you just sent me wasn't the whole thing.
That
It
was the
wasn't the whole thing.
trailer. That was the trailer.
Oh, dude, I thought you were making a trailer for the 30. I didn't realize you're actually making a whole 30 for 30.
Yeah. So it'll be a
Okay,
shortened version.
yeah,
But
that's so pretty cool.
But yeah, so we're making the 30 for 30 and it'll be finished soon. But yeah, we sent it to College Game Day and SEC Nation. So we will see what the results are this coming week. I hope they air it. I thought it was good enough to go up, but we'll see.
I did, yeah, I did too. It was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That was. Would it just be the trailer or the whole thing?
The goal is to get the trailer up so that they can direct people to the whole thing. So
Okay,
probably
yeah,
just a
makes sense.
trailer.
Did they because I didn't get to watch much. Like they didn't even. Did y'all get talked about much during the show or any at all or no?
Nah, man, they.
Because like what was the actual program that y'all were with? It was it through ESPN or was it through someone else?
So our program was actually just through like our like colleges at school, like our departments at school. But like our faculty heads have a lot of connections with people at ESPN. Like Paul
Okay,
Feinbaum and the Bama faculty head are like really good friends. So that's like kind of
interesting.
how we made those connections. So that's how we got all our backstage access, etc. But it was through the schools themselves.
Got you.
Yeah,
That's
man.
awesome.
Yeah, it was cool.
Um, yeah, dude, I was. Also, did you got to talk to Tebow a little bit though?
I did
Did
for
you?
a quick second.
Okay, did you end up watching the Swamp Kings documentary,
I
whatever
did. I
that
did. I did. What'd you think of it?
was? It like I thought it was pretty good, but I just I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. I felt like they didn't go as deep as they could, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
But I was just curious if he was as stand up of a guy as he is like portrayed in the show,
Yeah,
like in person.
what I'll say about Tebow, the biggest thing that jumps off, like obviously we've been around a lot of big people in our life. Tim Tebow was
Mhm.
huge. Like that's a massive dude.
I will,
Like he
yeah,
crushed my hand when we shook hands. Like legitimately, he
golly,
he is a massive dude. But no, he's a stand up guy. Really, really nice guy to talk to. The hard part about it is like he's so popular that it's hard to really keep his attention for super long because he wants to get to everybody.
that makes sense. I
So
get that.
that's the only thing about it is he's so popular. It's like all you get is like a hey, nice to meet you, and he'll be like, hey, good luck with whatever you're doing this weekend, and then that's all you really get, and he's on to the next person. So
Gotcha, gotcha. Um, we his mom came and did. I wouldn't say like a tell all. It was kind of like a I guess a speech
yeah,
here, and my mom and a bunch of her friends got to see her, meet her. She wanted me to tell you to say hi too, but I was like, I'm gonna leave
man,
that out
you should have
because
told me. I would have.
I didn't. I mean, I didn't know. Like, yeah,
Yeah, it's
but
cool.
um, but yeah. So after game day, did you you went to the game or no?
Yeah,
Did you get to
so
go to the game?
we got to go to the game. I spent like the first half sitting in the stands, like just literally enjoying the game, and the
Mhm.
second half in the press box. So
Got you.
that press box is weird, man. It was my first time in like one during football season, and it's weird because like you're not allowed to cheer or
I was okay. Wait, hold on. Wait, you're talking about not the suite, the press box.
yeah, the press box.
Okay, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Were like with the coaches and everything, and what,
I didn't see
or
the
just
coaches, but like you see the radio staff over
gotcha?
there. There was NFL scouts in there, and then all the other media and journalists that are writing their stories for the game are all in there. Reese Davis was in there.
Wait, you said Reese Davis was?
Yeah,
Oh, dude, that's freaking awesome.
yeah. Reese
That's awesome.
Davis. I'll say this, and I was just thinking about like who I had the best experiences with. Reese Davis was so cool. Like every time he saw us after we introduced ourselves, he remembered us. Like just asked us how our projects were going. Like came up to us, waved at us like multiple times throughout the whole week. And he's a good dude,
And that makes like a great impression too. That's
right?
awesome. I'm trying to think who else you didn't get. Did you get to meet? You didn't get to meet Lee Corso, did you? Or
No,
no?
they keep him holed up until he puts that mascot head on. That's
That's crazy, dude.
yeah. I almost got to say hey to Coach Saban, but he was moving a little too fast for me. So
Wait, I thought you still haven't met him.
you know,
I could have sworn.
I
Have you met him yet or no?
we're always in the same room, but we haven't officially like, hi, I'm Shaw, nice to meet you yet.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes
Every
sense.
time it's just like a nod or a wave, and he's about his business. He walks fast, man.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. He's like locked in, bro. He's just
And that
um
security detail is scary.
around him
Yeah,
or
man.
just like
Around him, it's cops
like the
every time.
secret service
Yeah,
or what? Just around. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's a good segue. Now that we're talking about saving,
Yeah.
um, because I didn't mean to put this on. It
Yeah.
kind of happened. Just got off work. Just wanted to throw some on. Let's talk about the game a little bit,
Okay.
and I want your opinion on where you see the season going from now on. Because this is, it
Yeah.
seems like just like Tennessee, because we have an identity crisis too right
Hmm.
now. I think you have an identity crisis as well,
Yeah.
especially at quarterback.
So
In
let's
my opinion,
let's
I don't
let's
know.
talk about quarterback, man.
Yeah,
Because I think that's probably the biggest thing everybody wants to talk about. I'm gonna give you my personal opinion. I don't think Milrow was necessarily the problem. I just don't think he was the solution. Right. Our,
yeah.
our offensive line played poorly yesterday, and
Which yeah,
or yes Saturday.
go. Mhm.
But I think in the past, even when we've had poor O line play, like we've had quarterbacks that process things so fast. Like Bryce's thing was thriving out of structure. Like he loved
Mhm.
to make somebody miss and complete a pass on protection that broke down. But Milrow can't do that. Like that's just not his game.
Yeah.
If he's going to throw the ball, he has to have good protection. The pocket has to be clean, and it wasn't. So
Which that's crazy because he's so quick. You would think it'd be the complete opposite,
you would think
but he went.
I've never
Which
seen
and that's
somebody my best. I've never seen somebody so athletic and fast that struggles to throw the ball on the run as much as he does.
yeah. Um, which I mean, they were show. Was it this week or was it against MTSU? I think they were showing his like change of mechanics too.
It probably
Um,
was. I think it
so
was
I
probably MTSU.
yeah, that might have been a little, especially like on the run, that might have uh,
Yeah,
hurt him as well. But um, with how big y'all's line is, because what is it like
right.
averaging 300 pounds or something
Six
like that,
five, 340 is the average.
dude? And it looked just like, I mean, yeah, if you're that big, you're not gonna be that quick. But they
Right.
were getting blown. They were getting freaking.
It's
It was
it was
crazy.
insane. Obviously it was MTSU the previous week. Shout out to Q and Moose, on that D line. But it looked like, okay, yeah, this is going to be a year where we can thrive and like being physical and having like this huge big presence on the O line. And that was probably the most disheartening part of the game. It was like seeing
Yeah,
those guys get like bullied the entire game. That
yeah.
was bad.
It just, I like I said. I mean, that's something. I don't think it's like. I don't think it's a long term problem. I
Yeah.
just think it was a one time thing. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
what do you all have next week? You've got a
USF. So
USF,
we'll
so
go
should
through
be a
them.
dub. Should
Right.
be a dub.
Here's my thoughts
But
on the season though. Is when I look at our schedule, no disrespect to Tennessee, but
I get you.
I think Texas is the best team that we're gonna play,
Yeah,
which is
100%.
super encouraging for me, as well as like we have a lot of young guys, so now we're gonna get like they're only gonna get better as the season goes on. You hope. So I'm not pessimistic like a lot of Bama fans are. When we lose, they usually just crawl in a hole and feel like the
Jump
season's
ship.
over. Yeah, I think I
I don't know if you're on.
I think we're gonna
Oh,
I
my
think we're
bad.
gonna be fine. But what were you saying?
I was on Reddit Sunday, and
Yeah,
all the Alabama fans are saying like maybe it's time for Saban to
yeah.
hang up the cleats and everything.
After one home
Which
loss,
yeah, and like I'd say Texas is back. I think they're back, and
we'll
that's
see.
and not to mention I think Quinn Ewers. I was thinking this last year. If he hadn't got hurt, I think they would have won.
I,
No offense,
I
I
do too.
know,
I do too. I'm honest.
but I think he's just the difference in that team, and well, also like having AD Mitchell.
Yeah,
I mean, that's absurd. And he played against Alabama twice too, so
yeah.
he's got experience against Bama. And then another guy that I loved watching, especially last year, was that Xavier Worthy, and I
He's a
think he caught a
baller.
touchdown pass.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's I don't know, and
yeah.
like if we talk about that. What's y'all's like your secondary too? Are they
Here's
young?
yeah. I mean, we have Caleb Downs, true freshman.
Mhm.
Terrion Arnold was a freshman last year, so he's sophomore. And those are starting corners. And if I'm not mistaken, Terrion is a converted safety to corner. That
Got you.
means something to me. But our other than that, we have some more experienced guys like Kool Aid's going to be going to the league after this year.
Definitely.
Our free safety Jalen Key, he's a grad student, so we have some experience, but he's transferred up from UAB. But we have this weird thing. Malachi Moore is also a senior, but we have this weird thing, and this
Yeah,
happened
but
against
he was
Tennessee
hurt,
last year. You
right?
said what?
Wasn't he hurt though?
He
He
was
didn't
hurt
play
last
this
year,
game, did he?
and he did come and play this game, but he didn't practice much of the week.
Gotcha.
But
But all right, yeah, go on.
we have this weird thing, and it happens a lot against Tennessee, and I think teams have like picked up on it, even though we have a new DC. Is when there's like motion or we get spread out, we bust coverage, and that's what happens with those big plays. Like I think if you look at a lot of the deep passes, either the receiver's motioning or somebody's motioning, and they're trying to pass off man coverage or something, and it's a bust all the time, and there's just people 20 yards behind the defense. I mean, Jalen Hyatt did it to us 6 times last year. So I mean, yeah, it's something about that, and I have no clue what the communication area is back there, but it's something.
It's like I wouldn't say. I remember vividly, like, because I don't think communication was the huge. I mean, I'm not watching Alabama
Hmm.
secondary and like, are they talking and whatnot? But it might just be like, I mean, especially the guy from UAB,
Hmm.
just to transition to a different ball. I mean, and like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm not saying anything bad about it, but I mean, that's their biggest second weekend. You got to play Texas. I
Right.
mean, it's tough. It's definitely. I don't think it's anything to jump ship about, in
Not
my
at
opinion.
all.
Like you, um, I bet I know for a fact Saban's probably getting on to them the whole week.
Yeah. I went to Saban's press conference. Um, I think right after, or we went right after the game, and he was so mild mannered during the entire press conference that I felt like a lot of people in there were super concerned because when you walked in, the room was super tight. It was super stuffy. Like nobody wanted to say the wrong thing and piss him off. But uh, the fact that he was so mild mannered, like, was comforting to me, not scary. Like it wasn't like he didn't care. It was like, yeah, he knows what needs to be fixed and he knows exactly how to fix it. So I'm confident going to the season. I think this team can still make the playoffs. I don't know about winning a national championship. I wouldn't bet money on that, but I think this team could still get to the playoffs.
I mean, especially if not the playoffs, the SEC. I
Right.
mean, the West this year. I don't want to say anything about LSU. I'm going to leave that there.
I'm not high on LSU either.
I'm high on LSU as well. Auburn, Ole Miss, eh.
Yeah.
The only I think a team that might give you the run for the money, and this is a hot take. I think Arkansas. I
Really?
like Arkansas, dude. I that was it. KJ Jefferson and what's his name, running
Um,
back.
um, I'm blanking.
But
But yeah, I know
dude,
what you're
I
talking
think
about.
and they played y'all well last year. Well, y'all actually for the first half they played y'all well.
Yeah.
I just think either them or A&M. And I don't know about A&M's going to be a toss up too. We'll see.
Yeah. A&M's always a scary game, but I think we'll find a way versus A&M. Jimbo is a known choke artist, so
Are y'all playing in College Station or Tuscaloosa?
it's in College Station. That's the scary thing about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, honestly, like the West is for the first time I'm saying is kind of down this year,
Yeah.
which you don't hear that much.
Yeah.
And this is after LSU putting up 50 on, or was it 70? I think they scored 70 on Grambling
Yeah.
State.
But it's
It
also
was something
gambling
crazy.
state. We saw how they
Yeah.
looked against
Well,
FSU.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, don't get me started on that game. Don't get me started on that game. Um, but yeah, no, I think definitely I could see another Alabama Georgia SEC matchup,
Yeah.
and then maybe the winner of that decides. I don't see y'all losing another game personally. Like it,
I don't either. So how are you
but
feeling about your Vols though? I haven't got a chance to watch much of them this year.
uh, I wasn't even gonna bring that up because I'm pissed. I'm pissed. No, if you go back and watch the game, there was Joe Milton started off like 0 for 7 against Austin P.
What?
Yeah, 6 of those were like drop passes.
Okay.
Granted, they were like a little off, but should have been. If you get two hands on it, it should be caught.
Right.
That's what worries me is that our receivers. I mean, they so many drops. I wonder if I can look how many drops they had. Our run game, I think, is going to be our strong point.
Okay.
Defense scared me also against Austin P. Special teams sucks.
Really?
Our punter, dude, and I no disrespect, but our punter is like he's Australian, came from the like Australian Football League, so he likes to roll out. And cool thing is he can kick with both feet.
Okay,
Right?
that is pretty cool.
That
Yeah.
is that doesn't always mean it's a good thing though, because if he rolls out, kicks with his right foot, it's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough. Against Virginia, he kicked 3 out of bounds, like 20, 30-yard punts.
Yeah.
So that worries me just because if when we get into conference play, that's going to be
Right.
crap show waiting to happen. It's going to be an interesting game, especially against Florida.
That's who y'all have this week, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I was so confident leading into last week. Now it's kind of like we might get whooped.
Are y'all in the swamp,
In the swamp.
or not? In the
Yeah,
swamp? Ooh.
in the swamp at night. So I was like, if unless Joe Milton comes out freaking dropping bombs,
Right.
we might get whooped, and that's what makes me nervous. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting season. We'll see after this week. I don't know what kind of team we have.
Yeah.
But we gotta wait till Saturday.
Yeah. I'm glad we finally have an away game so I can like sit at the house and watch a bunch of other teams, you know. So
I didn't even think about that because I guess wait, are you working every home game again?
not every home game. I'm on and off, you know, switching on, but I've been like doing stuff these past 2, so I haven't really had a chance to like sit down and watch a whole bunch of college football yet. So that's what I'll be doing this Saturday.
If you want a 6:30 Central Time, I guess it's probably Tennessee, Florida. This is gonna be an interesting game.
Yep.
This is another. What do you think about the whole Colorado hype?
So
What do you think about it?
I'm gonna give you some more background real quick. Right. So I used to work with a company called Real Analytics, and Real Analytics verifies athletic data for high school players to help colleges fill out their recruiting boards. One of our clients was Coach Prime. So I had a lot of experience like looking at players on his roster, verifying their athletic data, sending it off to him to help him fill out the board for players he wanted. So I was super high on Colorado because I looked at a lot of the guys, right? So I kind of felt coming into the season, I predicted them probably as a 7-win team.
They could be 10.
But they could win 10. They could legitimately win 10 this year. I think they will be a playoff team next year when it expands to 12. Mm-hmm. I think they'll be a playoff team, but they're better than I thought they would be. Shador is really like that.
Dude, he is. Don't get me started. Yeah. I love him. I love him.
So you're on the bandwagon. Thank you.
Oh, I'm hopping on the bandwagon hard. But dude, not even like Travis Hunter is just a straight
dog
stud too. And I mean, we saw that at Jackson State as well. But holy cow,
right?
God.
I think people forget, man. Like Shador, like before his dad decided he was going to Jackson State, like Shador had offers. Like he had Alabama, Georgia, Michigan. Like he's been a dog.
And not to mention Shiloh played at South Carolina
right.
too. Oh, and they're getting guys. I mean, their transfers coming from everywhere, and it's not like this is like some run-of-the-mill team. This is a really good team, and I only see it going up from here.
Yeah,
and I'm happy for Colorado. That's going to be especially what was it? They play Oregon, I think, next week, and then isn't it USC right after?
I think they have 1 week in between. No, they got Colorado State this week, then Oregon, I think.
Okay.
Because GameDay is going to Colorado.
Gotcha. But yeah, no, I'm excited to see how that plays out. Do they? Because they don't. I don't think they play Utah this year, do they?
They put that's their last game.
Is it?
I think it's at Utah. I think
That's
it,
a game, dude.
those are
Yeah,
the
it's an.
two L's I have. I think 2 to 3 L's is Oregon, USC, Utah. I don't.
I think if they beat USC, it's going to be like a 50-50 game.
That game's
I think
gonna
it's
be
going
a
to be something like
shootout.
yeah. USC's defense is garbage, and
Right.
if they're lighting the offenses right now, I think it's going to be an interesting game. Um,
Yeah.
I think I'm kind of with you. I think they take 2 out of 3 of those. Um, I'm not a huge fan of USC personally.
I get that.
I would like to see I would like to see Colorado win. I think Colorado still has the win in the bag.
Yeah.
I think Oregon's overhyped. I think they take Oregon, and
Okay.
then I think they beat Utah as
Okay.
well. So
Okay. I'm
yeah,
gonna ask you one more question. As far as draft goes, right? We're looking far ahead. Do you think Shador leaves this year, or you think he comes back?
it's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great question. Oh, I think because I think if he, I mean, obviously, I don't know. This is another set of question.
Right.
But who do you think wins the Heisman? Because I don't think if he doesn't win the Heisman, I think he comes back and tries to win the Heisman too, and then gets drafted.
I I honestly have no clue who wins it right now, right? Because I think that USC Colorado game is going to be so important for who wins it. But I don't. I feel like they don't want to give it to Caleb to go back to back. So that kind
Yeah.
of puts Shador probably in the front running for it right now. But then you
Either
got
him or Travis
Travis.
Hunter. There's really no other than them three right now. There's really no standouts
Yeah,
because like Drake May, kind of. I mean, he
he's been
screwed out
fine.
against App State, but I don't see maybe Corum at Michigan.
Yeah,
I mean, he's been talked about too, but other than that, Marvin Harrison.
maybe. The thing is with Colorado, they have like because we kind of know the Heisman's also like a media award, like who got the most coverage, and they're just so popular right now. Like there's nobody's talking about anybody else. That helps with those two. So I don't know.
I think if he doesn't win the Heisman, he comes back. I think
Okay,
if he wins the Heisman, he
he's
can
out.
draft.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I just here's the only reason I could see him saying right, or here's one reason. There's so many good quarterbacks coming out this year. Like it's going to be hard for him to jump Drake May, Caleb Williams. You know what I'm saying? Michael Penix is coming out. Like,
I forgot about Penix, dude.
right,
How do I forget about Penix, bro? Yeah.
right. So he probably makes a lot more money if he tries to stay one more year,
Mhm.
maybe gets in the playoff, and then is like the number one quarterback. Like he could mess around and be the number one quarterback off the board next year. I don't think he can be that this year.
That's a great point because I mean, not to mention you got not going to throw that name out, but Joe Milton as well.
Right.
I'm trying to think of. I mean, you got Sam Hartman.
Sam Hartman's coming out
He's
too.
going to draft too, and yeah, I didn't even think about. That's another.
People are
That's a
loving
great
on Bo
point.
Nix. I'm not a huge Bo Nix guy, but
I'm not on that train either. I think overrated as hell.
yeah,
But yeah, I think that's a yes, that's a you're right. This is a quarterback heavy
it's a
class.
lot of them.
But that, I guess we'll get that answer in a few weeks.
Yeah,
Um, but dude, that's really all I got for you.
cool,
Honestly,
man.
I don't know if you have any more questions or what.
Not really, man. I'm just appreciative that I finally got on, man. I'm glad I'm here.
I'm excited. I'm trying to get. This is like my first test run, so I'm
Yeah,
trying to see how this goes. Um, I would like to get like more people on like as a common, like
yeah,
a common thing, because we rarely like two teams especially like we rarely touch on our Alabama and Georgia just because
hmm
we don't have we don't know a lot of connections with
right,
especially Georgia. Um, but you obviously have your references and your
right,
facts from
right.
Alabama. So Yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
man.
I appreciate it, man.
No
Thank you.
problem. Anytime you need Alabama info, just hit me up. I can be here.
Gotcha.
Cool, man.
Gotcha. All right, buddy. Take care.
You too, man.